Now this piece here is a piece I made about 40 years ago. It's and I didn't do anything to it. It's the steel and bronze, the same thing I use today. Same thing you've seen me do in previous videos. It's all steel and bronze. And what I'm trying to show you here is it's a magnificent piece, of course. I done this back when I really had a flair for art, for making things like this, human figures. I can't even remember how I kept the cross from working because I put so much weld on it. I use a lot of rods and steel on this piece. It's about 4 foot high, something like that. But what I'm trying to show you here is the patina. I done absolutely nothing to this thing other than I took it out in the driveway and I washed it off with a little dishwashing liquid and water. Just washed it, let it sit out in the sun and dry, and that's it. I ain't never done another thing to it to this day. Hadn't even wiped it off or anything, which I guess there is a lot of dust on it and stuff. I guess my wife probably dusted off sometime, I don't know. I never have. So you don't really get any greenery to it. Set down here at the bottom on the stand, it seems to have accumulated some green. I don't know how. It's always been in the house. But it's just, the whole bronze has just turned into this real dark, brownish red kind of a color. And that's just the color it is after 40 years in the house. You know, I did a lot of work. Of course, this is back when I was working 3 jobs a day. And I'd come home and do this up to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And it seemed like I was always tired and always hungry. But I just messed around with it for about 4 or 5 months. Whenever I could you know, get to it, between working at jobs and working on cars and this, that, and the other. So it took me about 4 months to make it. And back then, these rods wasn't really too expensive. They were for me, but not compared to what they're. You could get them for about $3 a pound. Today they're up to about 14 where I get them at. They're up to about 18 or 20 at some places. Just depends on where you buy them. But this right here, I think it's a piece of steel. Yeah, I can tell by looking at the back of it. That's all it is steel and bronze. And I think I believe, I can't remember, but I think I would have made these hands out of nails, because I used a lot of nails back then. And right in here, I think I just built my little frame out of something, I guess nails, and done my same method of putting the face was the hardest to make. I don't think this thing's showing very good here. It needs to be out in the light, but mainly I'm showing you the patina here. But I ain't even never, I mean, I always had it around the house, so people has made comments that's coming to the house, but you know, I don't know, it's just a piece I made. And I think what I wrote up here, I wrote it in Latin. I think it says, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews." I think that's what I wrote on there. And I purposely put this sign on an angle because I don't think they went to too much trouble hanging signs and doing stuff like this. The cross I made, it's just, I tried to make it look like some kind of a wood grain. So and just rows of welds, all it is. And I do it with the same stuff I do today. It's never changed. The method I've used to make this artwork, whatever kind of a piece it is, whether it was a human figure like this, which I've made a few of over the years, and made a few of in the 80s, and a few in the 70s too. I just can't remember what happened to them. I don't have them, but I just can't remember what went on with them. Maybe I give them away. I don't know. I mean, I ain't never had no money, so I couldn't have sold anything for anything. But I don't know where they're at. I got this one though, and I had others. I don't know what happened to them. Anyway, I was just showing this for today. I don't even think you could see it. It's kind of heavy, so I'm not going to pull it out of the backyard or nothing, or out on the porch where the sun's at. It's just, I ain't going to do all that. Mainly, I just want to show this patina, and it's just as dark in the light as it is in the dark. It's dark. And I really love the way this thing turned out. And I got a little bit of dark green up there on the top. You can see it around this crown of thorns I put on here. I guess moisture at times have accumulated on that area. In areas like that, I guess it's turned a little. You know, this thing right here, if you left it outside for about, I don't know, 20 or 30 years, it'd probably turn absolutely green all over. Because that's a real thick coat. Well, it's not a coat. What happens with the steel and the bronze is the bronze is infused into the steel. In other words, it's not layered. It's not like you take paint, put it on a surface. It actually, I mean, if you were to just burn a piece of steel all the way around, you saw that piece, and you looked at where you sawed it, you would see that it actually has a transferring point where it gravitates from one material to another material. So the bronze dominates because it's outside material. So, but anyway, I just figured I'd show that. If I ever get the notion, I'll take it outside where it can be seen real good and let people look at it, you know, but I'll never sell it or nothing. It'll just be around, I guess, as long as I'm around anyway, which ain't going to be much longer, I don't think. Okay, we'll see you later.